Welcome to the People's House. This is your house. Every time that I come in this room, the first thing that I do is I look up at this gorgeous ceiling. I'm in awe of the grandness of the room, the history of the room, and to know that I'm a part of the history, and all of you are a part of the history. That's something you should never take for granted. And I think we all need to remember that we're working on behalf of each other's families every single day. And that's not something that we should ever take for granted.
And so transitioning from elections to governing is really hard. Most states never transition. They just beat up each other for another 2 years. It's what Washington does. And is that what we want? Is that what democracy is? It's just strangling the ability of people to actually listen to one another. Don't ever let that happen here in the state of Connecticut. We do big things in this chamber together, and that's not going to change. Yesterday, and as of today, there's a lot of chaos going on, not only in Connecticut, but across the country with the executive order that went out. Right now, our commissioner can't access the Medicaid system. Here in the state of Connecticut, we have no idea if that's true of every state across the country. They'd be out of cash in about 7 to 10 days if this executive order was not lifted.
When someone feels that they can turn out the lights on people by just flicking a switch on the portal of money, we have a problem, people. We have a serious problem.
Nearly 1 million individuals in the state of Connecticut receive their health care through the Medicaid program, and that's 1 in 3 children.
Nobody, not President Bush, not President Reagan, attacked the Medicaid system like we're seeing in this country today. We understand what's going on nationally, but we can't stop doing our jobs, and we're not going to stop putting forth good public policies on our committees. Towns are now developing their budget. Boards of Ed are now developing their budget. If you appropriate it in May, it doesn't give them any time to see where they true up their fiscal year. They got to know the money's coming by May. You can't appropriate it in May. Their fiscal year will already be done. Their budget will be done.
Too many families are simply struggling to make ends meet. As a state, it's really our responsibility to make sure that every child has a chance at thriving.
The biggest driver of municipal budgets is the Board of Ed budget. And the biggest driver of Board of Education budgets is special education.
Districts still are struggling to fill their budgets and dealing with rising costs of special education that they cannot control.
People feel more strongly than ever that the state needs to do more to help our families. If you look what's happening in Washington, they're thinking the exact opposite. Instead of providing credits and help to families who are trying to raise 2 young children, they're going to provide tax breaks to the wealthiest among us.
It's day one of budget negotiations.
I mean, this is what Congress does.
Do you think that the state needs to do more to brace for any kind of cuts from the feds?
I think we can only react to clarity, so I think it remains to be seen how we can react until we know what we're actually dealing with. What is it? Flood the zone, right? And confuse everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're not just people, but now they're doing it not only just federal agencies, but to actual entire states now.
Well, we are prepared. I mean, let me just say that. Fiscally, and the governor didn't get into all the details, right? We have a $1.4 billion surplus right now in this, for the next fiscal year. We have a surplus this year. We have a $4 billion plus budget reserve fund. So are we prepared? Yes. Can we handle utter chaos and destruction? No. If we get cut by billions and billions, we'll be in the same spot as any other well-run state. It's going to be problematic. But where we were from 15 years ago, what a change. And he's right. Everybody in this room has been a part of that. We're trying to put funding places where, to the majority leader's point, people are under attack at the federal level, having to respond to things at the federal level, but we're trying to send a message that we see what's going on in this country and we're trying to fight back. This is how I know how to fight back, is to legislate and pass laws to show your support.
This bill aims to protect the environment.
We are the stewards of this planet.
That's why we care about this.
We're trying to paint the picture of the future that we need to move towards.
Address special education issues and also allowed for more time for staff to work directly with students.
And it's going to enable them to live the lives they dream.
We can't have a greater return on investment than the investment in our youngest children.
And a foundational investment not only in our communities, but also for future generations.
I'm proud to still be standing here. I think it's been a little bit over 11 hours now.
We're not tired. We are not tired because we do not get to be tired.
And I think that that's an important thing. We've had a lot of conversation. And it's important to have those conversations.
We do have 169 towns and municipalities, and it really is important that we understand.
We can't be known as the state with quality schools, high test scores, and have the biggest disparities.
Despite the disagreements that we have here on the floor, we do have a lot of productive conversations in rooms around conference tables and in the meetings that perhaps the public doesn't get to see. And I'm really proud of being able to work with folks across the aisle, even if they can't support the final product. It is informed by their perspectives and by their good ideas, and I appreciate and thank them for contributing to it.
But is it going to get us housing over time? Absolutely is going to get us housing over time. It is going to help us reduce that homeless population. It is going to get people into safe housing.
And the people we represent will be in a far more precarious position if we do nothing, and that's why I urge passage.
The Medicaid problem for FY25, the deficiency, we have to vote both the House and Senate by May 21st, or there may be a problem getting payments to providers and for the rest of the fiscal year. So that has sort of jumped to the forefront and is tied into budget negotiations. This is a very, very big vote and a very difficult issue. Medicaid checks won't go out if we don't solve this. How you resolve this is the key. The whole budget is on the Medicaid deficiency. The big news is that, yes, we do anticipate voting for a bill today that will take care of the Medicaid deficiency in fiscal year 2025.
When we're looking at our Medicaid program and this deficiency bill, beyond it being the right thing to do, it also is fiscally responsible.
The budget's in a really good place. The uncertainty of Washington does cloud that a little bit, and we do expect to be back here at some point to revisit that issue. We have created a culture where 102 people were willing to vote for a 2-year budget last night. It was like watching a basketball team come together, and the kid who couldn't go left makes a left-handed layup, the kid who couldn't go right makes a right-handed hook. You saw a culture in there. It was the proudest moment of my political career, other than being sworn in by my parents and my sister to be speaker.
The bill before us gives us improvements in funding for an area that we all fought for, and that was Medicaid.
It is hard, good faith work at pulling together a lot of complex priorities.
The bill passes amended. The requisite 91 votes was met.
And with that, it gives me great joy, especially for my wife, to adjourn us sine die.
Sine die.